74% of businesses, mainly SMEs, cut emissions through the Low Carbon SG program, according to the 4th Singapore Business Carbon Report. Digital tools like CERT are boosting transparency. To discuss the findings, we are joined by Professor Wayne Zhang from NUS and Terence Tan from UNGCNS. Now, starting with Terence, what's new in this report compared to the previous editions?
The big difference we're starting to see is mindset change. Companies are no longer experimenting. More and more are becoming serious about embedding carbon management across their businesses. For example, about 40% of emissions data submitted to our carbon and emissions recording tool or CERT calculator, for short, were from repeat participants. This shows that carbon management is becoming part of a long-term strategy rather than just a pilot or one-off company exercise. The second highlight is that 74% of low carbon SG companies actually reduce emissions in either absolute emissions or emissions intensity. Moreover, 41% of those achieve reductions in both categories actually. Of those companies with reductions, 82% of them achieved a significant improvement of at least 5% year-on-year reduction. Now, these are really amazing statistics. They prove two things. Firstly, business growth and decarb can go hand in hand. Secondly, with the right frameworks and support, real change is achievable. The third thing that I want to highlight is that nearly 90% of companies in the Low Carbon SG program are now tracking data in at least 2 out of the 15 Scope 3 categories. Our Low Carbon SG program provides end-to-end support for companies that want to start their decarb journey, but either don't know how or need some suitable tools or help to get started.
On that note, Terence, which findings are key for climate action here?
Companies therefore need to realize that carbon management is no longer just about compliance. It's also about competitiveness. It's about access to green finance. And it's about meeting evolving investor expectations. Although such ex-ante regulations are very unpopular, they can be pivotal in encouraging and perhaps more accurately prodding companies to get started. I want to emphasize that the balance between push, pull, and enablers needs to be gotten right. The push factors, which I mentioned earlier, which is regulatory mandates, is essential to get things moving, but they need to avoid being too heavy-handed and negatively impacting individual companies' performance and overall economy. Too much regulation might also induce a tick-in-the-box mindset that we all want to avoid. Next, pull factors. These need to be strengthened throughout the value chain, such as customers raising the bar on the expectations on sustainability from their own suppliers. We also think that better recognition of those who make progress is a great pull factor.
In terms of the Scope 2 emission, we observed that some of the increase in the manufacturing sector. This is largely because of the higher electricity use compared to the direct fuel. So having this kind of insights would empower companies to take focused and effective steps towards decarbonization going forward. We find that the use of digital technology has empowered the companies to manage their emissions more effectively. Some even leveraging on the data collected to uncover inefficiencies, thereby supporting their investment in opportunities that lead to cost savings and product innovations. So these findings provide concrete evidence that decarbonization measures support business growth and resilience. Many SMEs are still not quite aware of available resources that can support their decarbonization journey. So these gaps can be addressed with effective capacity building interventions that serve to enhance both awareness as well as adoption of such resources. And we understand that for the SMEs to start their journey of measurement is usually due to limited resources, a lack of expertise, and a difficulty in accessing the green financing. However, we find that awareness has to go first. So if there will be more SMEs that come to know the digital tools such as CRT in the future and participating more into the public training programs, then we'll be able to observe more measurement, more reporting, such that the insights can provide the guidelines for the companies to start taking on their decarbonization strategies going forward.
Just for better understanding on the SME's role, how did SMEs contribute to the strong results in the report?
According to official Singapore stats, SMEs make up 99% of Singapore enterprises. And more interestingly, they contribute nearly 50% of economic added value. As there is a strong correlation between economic output and GHG emissions, we can also infer that SMEs also collectively contribute significantly to Singapore's overall emissions. Their progress, therefore, is critical to achievement of Singapore's net zero targets. From the sharing of the SMEs, we observe practical but impactful changes, such as energy efficiency upgrades, reducing refrigerant losses, and also improving on waste management and recycling. With programs like our low carbon SG program helping them with training and recognition, SMEs are proving that small steps, when multiplied across the economy, create significant results. Let me refer you to some of the inspiring case studies from the company spotlights in the report, particularly from the SMEs. You can see from the sharing how practical strategies that emphasize digitization, staff engagement, supply chain coordination, and also innovation in products and processes can help to deliver measurable carbon reduction and to enable ongoing adaptation for a low carbon future.
Many SMEs have also gone beyond compliance to embed the sustainability into their strategic decision-making and daily operations. For example, dedicated teams are established to design the frameworks and roadmaps and setting the very specific targets to drive down, the carbon emission. So from the report, we see that a lot of engagements with SMEs have able to achieve tangible carbon savings. So it is quite clear to us that the strong corporate cultures where both management and the staff are actively engaged is going to make a very central role in driving decarbonization initiatives forward. Thirdly, we also find that cross-sector collaboration can also be quite useful to amplify the carbon reduction efforts. So from here, we can see there's a lot of support and collaboration from both the public and the private sector for financing technology transfer. And with the consultants and the big corporates involvement, as well as human capital development through the training and education, have together provided SMEs with critical expertise and the resources needed to accelerate their decarbonization progress.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights, Terence and Professor Wayna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, those were Associate Professor Wayna Zhang, Department of Finance at NUS Business School, and the Deputy Director of Sustainable and Green Finance Institute, and Terence Tan, Director of Carbon Management at UN Global Compact Network, Singapore. For more news, visit asian-power.com.